Venture outdoors this instant. Proceed to the nearest container holding flora, that ancient stone formation, or the segment of timber that has languished in your yard's periphery for months. Elevate it. What lies concealed beneath will invariably encompass them. Minute, pallid, sheathed in armor, they scurry in all directions simultaneously, and at least some of them instantly contract into flawless spheres the instant illumination graces them. Scores of them, occasionally hundreds, nestled together in the cool obscurity beneath the object, entirely unconcerned with the world above. Your initial impulse, if you conform to the majority of individuals, is to reposition the container, or to procure an implement for their eradication. They appear as an inconvenience. They seem as something that has no place in a flourishing garden. But here is a crucial understanding you must grasp before taking any further action. What you are observing is not an infestation. It is not an indicator of neglect, decay, or any malfunction within your garden's ecosystem. What you are observing is one of the most industrious, chemically sophisticated, and profoundly misunderstood inhabitants of your entire outdoor environment. And the day you cease attempting to eliminate them will be the day your garden demonstrably improves in health. Today we shall delve into the true nature of roly-polies, scientifically designated as Armadillidium vulgare, and more commonly known as pillbugs. Not their outward appearance, not the instinctive aversion they provoke, but their actual identity, their actual functions, and the reason why the truth about them is so astonishing and so beneficial that most people who learn it feel compelled to share it immediately. Let us commence with a revelation that will fundamentally alter your perspective. The roly-poly is not an insect. Reread that statement. It is not an insect. It shares no lineage with beetles, ants, or any other fauna we associate with terrestrial soil. The pillbug is a crustacean. It belongs to the order Isopoda, the identical biological classification as shrimp, crabs, lobsters, and barnacles. It is, in the most precise taxonomic definition, a terrestrial crustacean, a relative of the seafood delicacies you might order at an establishment, which evolved over eons to entirely abandon the marine realm and establish its domicile within the soil beneath your garden receptacles. I vividly recall the first occasion I encountered this information in a scientific publication and had to pause and re-examine the text. A crustacean inhabiting my garden. A member of the same family as the lobster adorning someone's dinner plate, residing beneath a terracotta pot adjacent to my tomato plants. It is the kind of fact that initially seems implausible until one examines the creature anew, truly observes it, and suddenly the segmented armor, the multitude of leg pairs, its mode of locomotion, all coalesce into a distinct form of comprehension. This singular fact, crustacean, not insect, unlocks the understanding of everything remarkable about their activities. Because crustaceans originated in aquatic settings, their biological framework was constructed for watery environments. And when the progenitors of the pillbug transitioned to terrestrial life, a process spanning tens of millions of years and necessitating extraordinary physiological adjustments, they retained certain biological apparatus inherited from their aquatic ancestry. Apparatus that, within the soil environment, evolved into attributes unique among terrestrial creatures. The pillbug respites through specialized structures known as pleopodal lungs, modified gill-like organs on its ventral surface that must maintain a state of moisture to operate. This explains their predilection for damp, dark locales. It is not a matter of preference, but of vital necessity. They are, from a biological standpoint, still partially aquatic, still dependent on moisture in a manner analogous to how their oceanic ancestors were dependent on water. However, this aquatic heritage bestowed upon them a remarkable compensation. Pillbugs are detritivores. They subsist on decaying organic material, fallen leaves, decomposing wood, fungi, and the remnants of deceased organisms. In performing this function, they fulfill one of the most indispensable roles within any garden ecosystem. They break down organic matter into forms that soil bacteria and fungi can further metabolize, thereby accelerating the decomposition cycle that yields the nutrients essential for your plant's growth. A garden with a robust pillbug population exhibits more rapid decomposition of its organic waste, more efficient nutrient recycling, and superior soil structure compared to a garden lacking them. This alone would warrant their protection. However, it is not their most extraordinary capability. Their most remarkable feat, a subject of intense scientific investigation for the past 2 decades, concerns their interaction with heavy metals present in the soil. Lead, cadmium, copper, zinc, arsenic, these toxic metals have accumulated in urban and suburban soils over decades due to industrial activities, vehicular emissions, aged paint, treated lumber, and contaminated groundwater. They do not degrade. They do not dissipate. They accumulate in the soil, permeate plant tissues, and ascend the food chain into the produce you cultivate, into the organisms that consume them, and ultimately, into you. Pillbugs ingest contaminated soil components, and during this process, an extraordinary transformation occurs within their physiology. Research published in the journal Cell Biology International has identified specialized cells within the pillbug's midgut, termed S cells, which actively absorb heavy metal ions from ingested material and encapsulate them within mineralized spheres. The metals are not processed. They are not expelled back into the environment. They are permanently confined within the pillbug's organism, effectively removed from the soil ecosystem and stored in a form that precludes their re-entry into the food chain. The pillbug not only inhabits your soil, it purifies it. By all scientific metrics, it stands as one of the most effective biological agents for heavy metal remediation ever identified, functioning ceaselessly and gratuitously precisely where contamination concentrates. Studies conducted at research institutions across Europe have revealed that pillbug populations in contaminated urban soils harbor demonstrably higher concentrations of lead and cadmium compared to the surrounding soil, indicating that these creatures are actively extracting these toxins from the environment and concentrating them within their own bodies. When these creatures perish and are consumed by other decomposers, the metals are conveyed further up the food chain in a stabilized, mineralized form, significantly less bioavailable than the free ionic metals found in contaminated soil. Your pillbugs are executing a detoxification program within your garden, and most individuals are inadvertently terminating them. Yet there remains another dimension to the pillbug's biology worthy of contemplation. And it is this dimension that accounts for the characteristic rolling behavior that bestowed upon them their most widely recognized appellation. The defensive curl is not merely a behavioral reaction to peril, it is a triumph of structural engineering. The pillbug's external covering, the overlapping armored plates that impart its segmented, almost mechanical appearance, is meticulously designed to interlock with precision when the creature coils. The resultant form is a sphere devoid of exposed soft tissue, lacking any vulnerable ingress points, and possessing a surface that disperses external forces uniformly across the entire structure, rather than concentrating them at any singular location. Engineers at various academic institutions have studied the pillbug's rolling mechanism as a paradigm for the development of pliable, impact-resistant structures, such as those employed in robotics, protective gear, and aerospace components. The organism that individuals inadvertently tread upon in their gardens possesses a bodily architecture sufficiently advanced to inspire research in aerospace engineering. This is the inhabitant residing beneath your garden pots. Not a nuisance, not a problem. A terrestrial crustacean with an evolutionary lineage spanning 300 million years, a respiratory system adapted from gills to function in soil, a digestive process that expedites nutrient cycling, a heavy metal sequestration system that safeguards your soil and your sustenance, and a defensive structural mechanism that has served as inspiration for contemporary engineering. The most practical insight you can glean regarding pillbugs is this: they flourish under propitious conditions, and their presence offers a truthful indication about your garden. They necessitate moisture, organic material, and darkness, precisely the conditions that foster thriving decomposer communities, earthworm populations, and the fungal networks that nourish your plants. A garden featuring hundreds of pillbugs beneath its containers and stones is a garden possessing vibrant, active, biologically rich soil. A garden devoid of them is frequently a garden that has been subjected to excessive treatment, overdrying, or depletion of the organic matter they require for survival, and which your soil needs to function optimally. If you wish to support them and there are now compelling scientific justifications for doing so, the method is straightforward. Disperse organic matter upon the soil's surface, such as leaf litter, wood chip mulch, or the remnants of last season's vegetation. Maintain consistent moisture levels. Abstain from using broad-spectrum pesticides that indiscriminately eliminate life. And the next time you lift a pot and discover them present, gently replace the pot. They were engaged in vital work in the darkness, and they will resume their tasks the instant the light recedes. The next time an individual in your household reaches for footwear near the garden, apprise them of what they are about to encounter. Not a pest, not a problem, but a crustacean that has been diligently cleaning your soil, purifying your toxins, and silently, continuously, and entirely without expectation, building the very foundation of your garden's well-being. Have you ever discovered hundreds of them beneath a pot or stone and pondered their purpose? Share your experiences in the comments section below. I peruse every submission, and this community boasts some of the most captivating garden narratives I have ever encountered. And if you desire to gain insight into another creature diligently performing unseen, essential work in your garden at this very moment, one that most individuals have never considered observing, the subsequent video awaits your attention.